The wait is finally over! Coral Island is releasing into full access today, and our journey to save Starlit Town is officially here. From farming, mining, fishing, and romancing to embarking on a quest to save the merfolk and their kingdom, this game can absolutely hook you. Hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. In today's video, I'm gonna let you know everything you need to know before you buy Coral Island so you can decide if or if not it would be the game for you. There will be no spoilers, and all the footage that you see here today is captured from my PC during my early gameplay. But I'm also gonna let you know how it runs on the Steam Deck, cause man oh man did that one surprise me. And you can play Coral Island for yourself on PC, PlayStation 5, as well as Xbox Series X and S. The Switch version will be coming out sometime next year. Thank you Stairway Games for the game code, and before we get started, make sure to squish the heck out of the like and the subscribe button if you love farming and RPG games. Now we're switching things a little bit around. Instead of talking about the story first, I want to talk to you about how stunning Coral Island is. The attention to detail in this one is absolutely breathtaking. From the beach to the shops, going into villagers' houses, visiting different areas on the map and diving, the devs poured so much love and attention to this one. Instead of just making houses and stores that you can't enter, or maybe just having them look very basic as we've seen a lot of games do these days, no, every place feels so lively, like people actually live and use them. I wish I could zoom in as close as I wanted just to embrace the beauty even more. You can definitely zoom in and out, but it's very limited, so it's not like, let's say, Baldur's Gate 3 where you can zoom in so far that you can embrace every single item. And it's just insane that I'm asking for something like this because this game is just so beautiful that I actually wish this option was available. You also can't rotate the camera, which is another thing I really wish we can do, but it's not that big of a deal. The map is massive, and my only complaint is that I wish there was a mini-map. So far, I still haven't memorized my way around. I do get lost quite a lot, and you might get lost as well. The town itself has plenty of stores to visit, from the blacksmith to upgrade your axe and pickaxe, to the tavern where everybody gathers at night, the hair salon where you can change your look, and more. It feels so beautiful to be there. It just feels like a living and breathing world to be part of. And what I do love about the map is that it shows you exactly where every villager is. It tells you if a shop is open or if it's closed, and if it is closed, it will let you know when it's gonna be open next. Moving to the animations, characters have different facial expressions to their avatars, which helps you know how they're feeling, and they're so well done. And we've all grown familiar with the romanceables in this game and how gorgeous they all look. Seriously, this is the first farming game in such a long time where I'm intrigued by all the bachelors and the bachelorettes, and I'm having a really hard time just deciding who I'm gonna go with. So speaking of that, let me know who you're gonna romance, because honestly, I have just no idea who I want to go with yet. Overall, I love how characters have their own daily routine, and you're gonna find them sometimes reading a book in town. Maybe they just want to sunbathe. Sometimes they want to play around with their friends. The world again just feels so lively and beautiful. I feel like a broken record, but I was mesmerized by this one. There are also some cutscenes here and there which help unfold the story, and this is all done through text, so there is no voice acting, which never bothers me in any other game anyways. Sound effects feel very rewarding and satisfying, so anytime you do anything, whether be it water your crops or fish or mine or catch a bug, whatever it may be, there's always this rewarding sound effect playing. Whereas music reminded me a lot of Animal Crossing. It has that relaxing feel and vibe to it, and it just fits the island life perfectly, and it just makes you feel very happy and bubbly just listening to the soundtrack. Now let's talk a little bit about the story, and as always we keep things spoiler free here. Basically you get to customize your character from choosing your skin tone, body shape, eye color and shape, and hair. And can we talk about those hairstyles? They're so cute, and I love how different each one is. Then you move to Coral Island and you meet the mayor, you get your house, and you start to work as, you know, the new farmer in town. Slowly though, you will realize that the island is not as calm and as put together as it seems. On the contrary, there's a company called Pufferfish, and they're trying to turn the island into an oil-producing one, and it has already started ruining the reefs with trash and oil spills. Now, I'm not gonna get further into the story, but what I can tell you is that Coral Island has a really good and intriguing story unfolding here. There's a lot of drama and just different things happening, as well as villagers dealing with their own stories. They are dealing with joy, with loss, grief, cultural heritage, etc. And it's good to have a farming game that embraces storytelling, similar to what games like Wildflowers, My Time at Sandrock, Sunhaven, etc. actually do. And while it's really good to have an intriguing story in a farming game, we can all agree that gameplay and the gameplay loop is the main mechanic that we actually look for in this genre. So let's get a little bit into that. Coral Island doesn't shy away from doing so many things at the same time, but what I like is that it takes its time to teach you the mechanics and slowly introduce you to them. I think this is the best way to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed in a game that has so many things like this one. You have your 4 seasons, a day and night cycle where you have to go to bed before 12 a.m. I can assure you that you can also change the game speed, and you have a stamina meter which drains very quickly in the beginning, but you can gain more later down the line by eating a stamina fruit. You start with farming, you know, your typical till soil, plant seasonal crops, water and fertilize them, use scarecrows to keep crops safe, and then harvest. And the land that you get is freaking massive. I'm saying, like, it's massive. And I know it can be very overwhelming, so my tip for you would be to work around the corners and then just use whichever area you want for the time being, rather than worrying about clearing up the whole thing. On your farm, you can also raise barn animals and get resources from them, but I haven't gotten any. And you can also adopt a dog or a cat or a lizard. I mean, the pets in this game look absolutely adorable. You have your own house there as well, which is upgradable, and the game lets you craft so many items to shape up the farm however you want. Add to that the large selection of furniture that you can buy at the carpenter store. There's a theme for everyone to choose from. Now, as you play a little bit more, you will unlock the mines, and you're gonna get access into the mining feature. This is where combat is introduced, and I have to admit, combat in this one might get a little bit annoying to some. For me, I always try to get around combat. It's fine, I'll manage my own way, but I know a lot of cozy gamers absolutely despise combat, so please know that there is combat here. You have different floors in the mine, and the deeper that you go, the more ores and gems you obtain, which are also different depending on the mine. And also the mines have like different elements to them. So right now I have access to the earth one, but there's another one that is like water and then fire. And another thing you can do in Coral Island is go diving, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, and it is as fun as it seems. And this is actually one of the main mechanics in this game. Your goal is to clear the reef from trash, gather kelp, which you can use at the lab to upgrade things like your seeds, plants, fruit trees, and more, but you're also exploring different depths and getting a wide range of resources, chests, but also trash, which is actually a valuable resource in the game. Please do not get rid of the trash that you gather. When you're deep in the ocean, you use your anchor to leave and then come back, and that will be very important if you don't want to forget where you were last. You're also gonna see some beacons down there which you're gonna be tasked to activate. Now, Coral Island has a skill system in place. The more you do a specific activity, the more XP you earn, and then once you level up in said activity, you get points to allocate to whichever skill you want. You also unlock new recipes to craft and get some rewards, and crafting is a big component in this game because you need lots of materials, lots of resources, but then in turn, you get lots of blueprints that you can build for yourself. You're also going to be fishing, and for me so far, it's just like a weird mechanic in this game. You can also go bug catching, foraging, and the fun part is that a lot of these items can be donated to the museum. So similar to what we have in Animal Crossing as far as the museum goes, or in Stardew Valley's community center, you can donate a lot of items and then slowly and gradually get more rewards, and then you can also increase your town's rank. So remember how I told you about the oil spillage that's happening? Because of that, your town starts at rank F, and your goal is to revitalize the island. So by donating items to the museum, diving to restore the coral reef, completing temple quests, and doing other things like completing errands through the community board in town, you can raise your ranking and unlock new items. You'll get things like new seeds, clothes, furniture, barn animals, general store upgrades like increasing your backpack capacity, and more. And this is actually one of the things that I recommend you do first. When you get 500 coins, please go to the general store, upgrade that backpack, because man oh man does it fill up so fast. And I was just like, please bro, can I just keep, you know, doing my own thing and not having to worry about inventory, please and thank you. Now, apart from all of this, of course there is what you've been waiting for. I mean, romance overall villager friendships. Guys, the amount of bachelors and bachelorettes in this game, I'm telling you, I still don't know who to romance, and each person has like their own personality and they're just full of stories that they want to tell you, and this game has such interactive villagers that it feels like a just breath of fresh air. I'm so happy to see them full of life rather than have the same line being repeated over and over again. Like, yes, of course there will be some lines that will get repeated, but they also interact with the world. They will respond to the story progression, but then the festivals that are going on, and then it depends on how many hearts you have with them. They always will have new things to tell you, and it's just so fun to explore. As your relationship increases, you get new trigger events, and so far I found that the best way to do so is by gifting each villager a gift twice a week. However, this is all optional, so if you don't like interacting with villagers and you just like to do your own thing, then you can just forget about that, be single, play that single life, and then go and, you know, do whatever it is that you want to do other than romance. Now I want to touch quickly on performance. I played this on PC, on the Steam Deck, and then I also want to talk about the controls because there is a small issue that I want to tell you about. So my system had no issue running Coral Island, and if it did, there is a list of settings that you can tweak individually to make the game run easier on your system. And as fun as playing on the PC was, the selling point for me was the Steam Deck. Guys, it runs so well on the Steam Deck. I'm actually surprised. Yes, the Steam Deck was getting pretty hot, but it just ran really well, and I barely had like a few stutters here and there, but otherwise no bugs, no issues. It looks gorgeous on the freaking deck, like what? And overall, anyways, on both platforms, I did not run into any bugs or issues just yet. As for the controls, the one thing that annoys me the most is that it's hard to precisely hit what you want. Now I know on keyboard and mouse you can like press control and then you can like move step by step, but still it's just annoying. My stamina was running out for nothing most of the time, and I kept chopping and mining air rather than wood and stone. Otherwise, controls, especially on the controller, are so easy. Things like the map, relationships, inventory, and more are so easy to access through the touchpad. Oh, and let's quickly talk about the inventory system because it just looks so handsome, it's so clean, it's so minimalistic, so is the UI. I just love how this game looks, and overall it just delivers this beautifully made package all about living on an island. So we talked about the good and the not so good about Coral Island, but the question is, and that's why you clicked on this video, is Coral Island the game for you? We're gonna go with this game is for you if, not for you if, and my personal verdict. So Coral Island is gonna be for you if you love farming games but haven't burnt out like I was by the same gameplay mechanics that we've seen in recent games. Things like the diving mechanic brings that added oomph to the gameplay, and even the merfolk and the story unfolding, it just feels like a much needed breath of fresh air in the farming genre. It's also for you if you love interacting with a variety of villagers and having the possibility to romance unique bachelors and bachelorettes with diverse and fun personalities. It's for you if you want a farming game with an emphasis on the story to lead your progression. It's for you if you enjoy variety and don't get overwhelmed with having lots of activities to do. It's for you if you like a game set around the beach and being surrounded by palm trees. You know, with my time at Sandrock being set in the desert area, I know that a lot of you said that you don't like that kind of setting, so maybe spending time at the beach is gonna be the one for you. It's also for you if you want to be on the 2024 roadmap journey because there are so many more fun content coming up next, and you're gonna get the full access treatment as well as the new coming content. However, Coral Island is not for you if you don't like farming games in general and you think like this one will spare you from that. Won't really. At heart, this game is still a farming sim. It's also not for you if you get overwhelmed easily with lots of things to craft, gather, mine, fish, and collect, because there is a lot to do here. Even when the game is introducing things to you slowly, I know that some of you do get overwhelmed in the end. It's also not for you if you don't like having to follow a set quest line but would rather just have gameplay instead. Many gameplay mechanics are locked behind story progression, so you're gonna have to complete what's on your journal. And it's also not for you if you don't enjoy grinding. Farming games are super grindy. That's what they are in nature. That's pretty much why a lot of us actually like them, but I know some of you might just not enjoy that. And if you were hoping to get into farming games through Coral Island and thinking it's gonna be different, you're still gonna have that same grinding loop available here. Now, as for me, I got Coral Island in early access. We streamed it and we had a really good time, but then life was just lifing and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it for now. And then Stairway Games reached out and they were like, hey, do you want to play the full access version? I was like, heck yes, I do. And after playing that, man oh man, was I so happy that I just waited. The game's been living in my mind rent-free. It's all I can think about. The music, the characters, the gameplay loop, I just can't get it out of my head. I need help. I've actually haven't felt like this for a farming game in a really long time. Like, I think the last one that got me feeling like this was Wildflowers. So this year overall, it has been like a true test for what innovation can look like in the farming sim genre, and Stairway Games knew exactly what to do to pull gamers like myself back into it. Gamers like me who got tired from the same copy-pasted rinse and repeat mechanics. It just feels different here. It has that special extra spicy, just cutesy, but then also innovative gameplay mechanics and like the freaking merfolk and diving. Sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of innovation on the dev side to make you fall back in love with a genre that you feel like is just not trying hard enough anymore. There is so much to do. There's a beautiful story unfolding, intriguing NPCs to get to know, lots to complete and unlock, fun leveling up systems, and overall rewarding gameplay. I've been craving a game like this, and I'm honestly shocked in the best way that Coral Island scratched that itch for me. But enough about me. Are you going to buy Coral Island, and which version are you going for? Have you seen how my time at Sandrock runs on the Switch? Like, that was terrible. And then I just don't know how Coral Island is gonna run on there either. Or do you think we should wait for the next hardware upgrade and then try and port games like Coral Island onto there? Let's chat in the comment section, and if you're looking for the 10 out of 10 farming games that are, in my opinion, like the absolute best, then check out this video next. That's gonna be in the pinned comment or somewhere around here. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies. You guys make videos like this possible. Thank you for watching, and a shout out goes to Karu, the games I mentioned, Jacob, Stephanie, Stephen, Dark One, and Jake Logan for going that extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.